it, and I still get it wrong. Look at that. I'll have to practice next time. We'll get it going at some point here. So maybe
It's something we'll get down.
yeah. So we're gonna be talking summer conditioning stuff. You can do mostly outdoors in this episode, but just before we do, maybe give the listeners a bit of a rundown on what you're up to right now.
Yeah, right now I'm just doing a lot of working on a lot of writing. Got a couple new articles coming out for Ask Men here in the next month or so. Got a new article coming out on the Personal Trainers Development Center, and just trying to focus on writing and of course coaching my clients. So, what about you?
Perfect. Yeah, I actually just got 10 guys enrolled in a 28-day challenge. I know I'm not big on the short-term challenges, but people were looking for something to be ready for July 1st, so it's a pretty intense program. And obviously I'm hoping a number of them will stick around with me after the trial, but I'm hoping that they'll get good results from this 28 days and be beach ready by the end. We'll see. That's a bit of a lofty goal for some of them, but that's what I'm doing on the business side, and I'm also writing too. I got something coming out on Ask Men on just finding the right exercises for you in the gym. Mechanical positioning. Everyone has a little different build and biomechanics, so finding the right exercises could make a huge difference. Sometimes people kind of overlook that fact.
I just actually saw pop up on my Twitter feed that Ask Men had tweeted out. It was a conditioning article you wrote.
Oh, yeah.
So, in fact, we're talking about conditioning today, and that popped up. I thought that was fine.
Yeah, I didn't know when that was going to launch, but that's timely. That's funny. So we'll do a lot of what's in that article here.
You just wrote that one?
Yeah, last week I think maybe. At some point when we started talking about this episode, it was timely. So maybe start us off with what your number one summer conditioning drill is, exercise.
Well, I think my favorite conditioning are just kettlebell swings. I love doing kettlebell swings. I think they are a fantastic exercise. A bit of a learning curve to them. Definitely got to do, if you're doing it on your own, you got to do a little research as far as checking out videos and tutorials and stuff. But they're total body exercise. Really hit the glutes, the hamstrings, the arms, the back, and they're very explosive. I love explosive movements, especially for conditioning. What I like to do is either throw them in at the end of a workout as a finisher, or do them on a separate off day. One kettlebell conditioning thing I've been doing for the last couple of weeks are every minute on the minute sets. So what I'll do is I'll do 10 kettlebell swings at the top of every minute, then rest for the remainder of the minute, and then keep doing that over and over again for I started out with 10 minutes, and then I kept adding 1 minute every workout. Another kettlebell conditioning exercise or circuit that I like to do are countdowns. So I'll do, say I'll start with 10 swings, and then I'll pair them with another exercise like burpees or med ball slams or bodyweight squats, and you'll do 10 kettlebell swings, 10 burpees, and then do 9 kettlebell swings, 9 burpees, and count down all the way till you get to 1, and that gets pretty intense by the end there. People do not like that, especially when you pair them with burpees.
So how many of these do you recommend someone add into their program, finishers, per week?
See, I'm a big fan, for fat loss. If you're training 3-4 days a week, I'll throw some sort of finisher in there at the end of every workout. Sometimes it'll be like kettlebell swings, other times it might be sprints or something, or sometimes I'll just finish with abs, but something at the end where you're resting minimally and just kind of get that heart rate up towards the end of your workout.
Good stuff. Yeah, those are pretty intense for sure. So even a beginner should start with maybe 1 a week and progress from there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, especially since conditioning, there's definitely a learning curve to any type of conditioning. Would be sprints, kettlebell swings, that type of stuff. But I guess even starting just body weight stuff and trying to do as many reps of something as you can in 10 minutes is still a great conditioning way to start out conditioning.
Cool. Yeah, so my personal favorite for the summer, I don't have a lot of hills around here. I live in the prairies of Canada, so
Yeah,
car
me,
pushes
me
is a
neither.
good.
Me neither.
Yeah, same with you. Yeah. So my favorite is car pushes. I mean, this is probably an intermediate exercise. You don't want to be a complete beginner. I don't want you to get trampled by your car, that type of thing. But don't start out with a Hummer. But nonetheless, it's surprisingly it does work, no matter what your level of development is. My wife is in the background here, opening up, trying to start a coffee or something. So sorry for the distractions.
No, that's okay.
But so it works the same way as hill sprints. Really, you're pushing your car full out for maybe 20, 30 seconds, then get in, drive back, get a rest of a minute or two, and then repeat for 4 or 5. Right. And what I like most about this one is the weird looks you get from cars and people passing by. They're like, "What is this guy up to? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen." But
Do I need to stop and help him or something?
yeah, exactly. Is he stalled out? But it gives you, if you've got a bit of an ego, you can show off, wear a tight shirt, and push your car for 5 circuits. So there you go. There's my number 1 summer conditioning exercise.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I don't have a lot. I love hill sprints, but I don't have a lot of hills around here, so it's kind of tough to think of some other stuff to do.
So what's your next one?
Next one, I'd have to say it's one I've just recently been getting into a little bit. Battle ropes. One you can do, take some battle ropes outside or inside the gym, but it's similar to kettlebell swings. Only if you're doing battle ropes correctly, 15 to 20 seconds is pretty much all you're going to need to get a good workout in. I like mixing them in, like with kettlebell swings, mixing them in with other exercises. So I'll do 15 seconds of battle ropes and then 15 seconds of burpees or lunges or squats or push-ups, and then rest for 30 seconds and continue to do that for 5 to 10 minutes. By the end of 5 minutes, if you're a beginner, that's going to be all you're probably going to be able to handle for a little bit until you get used to it. But the nice thing with battle ropes is there's a lot of different variations you can do, and maybe once we get this up on YouTube, we'll put some links in the show notes to some of the different ones, because obviously we can't show one here. But you can do waves, slams, circles, 1-arm, 2-arm. They're very versatile, and I think they're a lot of fun, and they make you look like a badass. If you're in the gym, people are giving you stares and like, what the heck's this guy doing?
Yeah, the more pain and awkward your facial expressions are, the better you're working with battle ropes, I find. If you look ridiculous, you're squeezing out something, then you're working hard. So that's the main barometer
there. Exactly.
So I know we've kind of touched on hill sprints, but if you're in an area that's blessed with hills, this is one of the best, right?
Yes.
Especially if you're prone to leg injury, knees, or hamstring tears or pulls.
Right.
It really prevents that because you're on a slant. There's no full extension of your leg throughout the motion, but you get a great workout still, right? So essentially you find a hill, you sprint up it, and then you walk back down, catch your breath, and sprint back up again, right? It's pretty self-explanatory, but it works like hell. And I know, I think Walter Payton was the NFL player that kind of popularized these. Jason Ferrugia always post that picture of Walter going up the hill. So it works great if you're an athlete. Even if you're just looking for general fat loss, though, it works great too. So take advantage of the summer hills that aren't filled with snow and jump and run up them, right? Simple enough.
Right.
I just
not fancy, but they work.
Exactly. Since that was already sort of touched upon, I don't know, I might be stealing your thunder here, but we can both talk about it. Barbell complexes. I know that's in the gym, but that's one of my favorites too to do year round.
Yes,
so
mine too.
Essentially you pair as many as 5 exercises all at once with the same weight. You could go through floor deadlifts, overhead presses, what else? Rows, stiff-legged deadlifts, and then maybe do a bench press from the floor at the end, right? And you're not really dropping the bar at any point, but really gets your heart rate up. It's like a 2-minute set. And because you're hitting different muscle groups with each exercise, you can extend it quite far, right? So I don't know if you've had experience with those.
Right. For sure. I love doing doing complexes, especially in fat loss programs. Key with complexes is when programming to make sure that each exercise kind of flows into the next. So, you don't want to go from deadlifts to back squats because that's kind of a little bit of wasted energy. So you want to go from say deadlifts to rows to cleans to presses to back squats. Just making sure you can seamlessly transition. Another one too, not complexes, but similar, are combos, where you're doing one rep of each exercise and then repeating it over and over again, as opposed to with complexes, you finish all the reps of one exercise before moving on to the next. So similar, but different.
Right, those are good too. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's.
And complexes can be done with barbells, dumbbells, kettlebells. And especially when you're doing them with those dumbbells or kettlebells, you can definitely throw in a lot other variations of exercises that you might not necessarily be able to with just a barbell.
Yeah, and they test your metal, and they really add to the total volume of the workout, right? Without having to spend a ton of extra time. So win for sure. So any others did you have on your list here, or we want to wrap up?
One I didn't have on my list, or maybe I guess two, but I just recently got to have experiences with them, are sled pushes and pulls and tire flips.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a lot of fun. Unfortunately, my gym here doesn't have any of that stuff. Not that hardcore. But I was recently down in Austin, Texas, at the On It training facility down there. Got to train with a couple other trainers, and we had this nice little circuit of tire flips and sled pushes and pulls, where we'd sprint 10 yards, flip a tire, sprint back, sprint down, push a sled, sprint back, and definitely first time I had experience with those type of things, and they were definitely a lot of fun, and it didn't take a whole lot of work to get your heart rate up. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, the gym I work at is affluent, but there's nothing like that to be seen. So I would like to find a hardcore gym just to mix it in once in a while and go to get that hardcore Arnold feel, Muscle Beach type thing.
Right, it is definitely a lot of fun, that's for sure.
So where can people find you, Jorden?
That's a key. I think that's they can find me at my website, jordenpagofitness.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Jorden Pago. We can get those links up in the show notes too as soon as we get this bad boy up on iTunes. So
yeah, iTunes is tough. It's not as easy as it sounds to put up a podcast. We've been dealing with this for a few weeks.
Right. No, we'll get it figured out here soon, I think. But,
tech difficulties. Yeah. That's right. We're trainers, not IT people.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm Mitch.
Somebody handles my website, not me.
Yeah. MitchCalvert.com is where you can find me. Calvert Fitness. Pretty straightforward. My name.com. So we'll see you guys out there. We'll see you next week with a new episode of Former Fatties Fitness.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you later.